Okay, so image generation. So we are so excited because large language models were written to be based on text generation, right? They've come a long way. And so if you have not played with them lately, I encourage you to do that. So we're going to talk quickly here about ChatGPT 2.0 images and Nano Banana in Gemini. ChatGPT 2.0 was updated, as Sarah mentioned, just very recently, a couple weeks ago. In fact, OpenAI improved their base model, and it's doing a lot of things a lot better. And then Nano Banana, Google updated this model in February, and it has also gotten a lot better. So we're going to talk a little bit about what are some of the things they do, what are some of the things they do well. One model, these models, if you go online and look, there's a lot of people who do a lot of comparison of them, and you'll find a lot of really good information about what the strengths are for this model versus the strengths for this other model. So that's what we're going to look at. So what are some ways we can use it in our work? We could use it for marketing visuals. You could use it for visuals for your course, right? So we have worked with our schools in generating, for example, in advising, generating social media content with images in it. And I know if you're like us, you've used the same images over and over and over and over. So it's really nice to have these tools that generate fresh new images for us that people don't have, 8 fingers on one hand or this crazy stuff going on. So they've really come a long way. Using it for user interface mock-ups. So if you have a course where you're doing some type of mock-up, they're really good for that. Storyboards, we know what those are. Training and education graphics, comic panels. We see a lot of educators generating comic panels, which are interesting for their course content. Social media and product concepts. So if you start using ChatGPT 2.0, you'll notice that you'll see that thinking, that little message that's on the screen as it starts to generate your image. So that is because they have really improved the model to reason about the prompt you are entering. And so rather than just simply trying to take what you're saying, it's thinking about it creatively. So at the bottom of this slide, it says it's changed from describe exactly what to draw, pulling from the prompt, to collaborate with the model creatively. So it's looking deeper in the prompt that you are asking, and it's gotten really, really good. It's really much better at maintaining consistency. I know Sarah was producing some images for us for a retreat we were going on, and every time she would prompt it, she would barely change the prompt and it would give her something entirely different. So the outputs that it's doing now maintain consistency until you ask it to pivot to another direction. You can use uploaded files to give it context, and that's a really good thing to do in this process. And it can potentially pull web content or web content for information or for context. And so if you're saying I'm, creating a graphic for my course, and here's something out there that I really like, and I want you to create something that's similar to that, you can give it the web link and it will look at that and get context for you. So ChatGPT 2.0 has come a long way. Prompt strategies, you can now suggest specific layouts, exact camera angles, lighting and shadows. This is big. So before you might have a shadow that's in the wrong direction from whatever the shadow is a shadow of in the image, but they have really cleaned that up. Infographic structures, complex scenes. I have thrown some really crazy prompts at this tool, and it's really generating the images that I'm asking for. And it can mix styles for you. So again, we're getting consistent output to what we're looking for. ChatGPT 2.0 strengths, cleaner typography. That was a big challenge for us before. It would give us a word that was misspelled. Better infographic generation. I'll show you an example here in just a moment. Stronger layout control. Better prompt fidelity. It's following what you're telling it to do. It's thinking about it. Stronger design assistant behavior rather than just generating straight what it thinks you want. Nano Banana. Highly realistic, So think about realism. So think about this magazine cover. You want something to be really highly realistic. It does those kinds of things very well. Fast iterative workflows. So Nano Banana works a little faster. Very strong subject consistency and photo transformation. It does really well. In fact, these tools are starting to do all of the things that Photoshop can do really, really well. So if you're removing backgrounds, or you want to take an image and convert it to a sketch, or take an image and convert it to a cartoon, they are able to do those things that we used to have to use Photoshop for that were pretty complex to do. So recommendations: use ChatGPT for training materials, presentations, user interface concepts. So if you're doing mock-ups, infographics, branded marketing visuals, tech-heavy graphics. Does it really well. Nano Banana, photorealistic edits, fast experimentation or prototyping, identity consistent transformations, and social media type visuals. Although both of those really do social media pretty good. So this is an example of a prompt that I plugged into ChatGPT 2.0. You'll see that it's very text heavy. It has no mistakes. First prompt iteration. Didn't have to even put it back through again. It did a really, really good job. And all I did was create a modern cybersecurity training poster with readable text. And so it got it all right and correct and just really, really impressive. Here's an example of the realism of Nano Banana. The prompt was create a photorealistic promotional course graphic that looks like it was created by a professional higher education marketing agency for a community college AI and workforce readiness initiative. And that was it, the first output from that prompt. And so again, look at what you're using it for. Play with both tools. They have really improved. And I think that you're going to find that the images they can produce for you now are really impressive. So go play over the summer when you have some time and try out these different tools and see if you can come up with some really neat ways to use them in your course and in your work. And I'm going to hand it back to Sarah.
Well, I know we are at the top of our time, and so we want to thank you all for joining us today. Remember that we have resources available for you on our TBR site. You can just look for the AI Learning Collaborative and resources. That will give you the links to our Bridging Minds and Machines site. In the Bridging Minds and Machines site, you can find the TBR AI Fellows details and applications. You can find the information on our frameworks. You can find the links to our TBR AI Exchange. Reminder, whatever you're trying, go put it in the AI Exchange. It'll just take you a couple minutes, and then you'll find the information on our communities of practice. So we have a lot going on, but do want to thank you for taking time out and hanging out with us today. We hope you learned something fun about Copilot or about NotebookLM or Nano Banana or the new image generation in chat. We hope that you try those things out. We want to hear about them. Again, go put them in the TBR AI Exchange. If there's anything we can do for you, our email is ailearning@tbr.edu. We're always happy to hear from you. We will be back next month for the next Tech Talk Tuesday, so we hope you take time to join us then. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day.